What's happening, troops? Welcome back to another episode of the Nae First Touch podcast. I'll start it off by asking you, Kirsten, how was your weekend?
I was drunk, so
Probably best suited. Where's the orange jumper? You go against that today, or?
No.
In the bin?
It's still the same jumper, just a different colour.
Right, okay. Do you put it in the wrong washing? Is that what it was?
No, I just prefer this one. And I was not wearing, I'm never wearing that ever again on this podcast. No, especially after the weekend, it's not.
Jack, how you doing, mate? I'm guessing that your weekend was a wee bit better?
Just a wee bit, mate. I had maybe 2 notches better, I'll say that. Overall, happy with how it went.
Let's just get stuck right into it. Obviously, Rangers went to Celtic Park. They came out 2-0 victors. A lot of talking points coming out for it. We spoke about it in the show, about the predictions for the starting 11. Quite proud of us, Jack. You know, we kind of foreseen potentially Barker coming in and Ryan Jack no starting in the game. Were you surprised still when you seen Barker, or were you confident in his ability? Same with Jack, maybe missing it as well.
Play by play through that day. I seen the Celtic team before I seen the Rangers team. And when I seen the Celtic team, I said it doesn't matter how we put on. I was like,
That's confident.
I was like, so see before the game, I was obviously so nervous. From the moment I seen that Celtic team, I was confident we would win that game. My score prediction for last week was 2-1. The first thing I said to my brother was, I said 2-1 in my podcast. It's going to be about 3-0 now. And to be honest, it could have been, obviously, and it finished 2, but it could have been 3. And Ryan Kent obviously nearly getting a goal at one point. It was an absolutely beautiful take for that cross. But the one thing I had in my team that was changed that I was so happy about was Jack for Kamara, because Kamara played an absolute blinder.
Strolled it. He was brilliant. Kirsten, moving on to you then. Let's talk a wee bit about the starting 11 for Celtic, because a lot was obviously made of Edouard and Christie and the other guys missing the match. But obviously, for me, those two were the most pivotal. There was still players that started in the game over other players that were available, like your Kalamalas and your Ajetis and stuff like that. So what was your thoughts when you first seen the Celtic starting 11 before we start dissecting this game a wee bit?
This season, see, whenever Neil Lennon brings out a team, I've not been happy. I don't think there's ever been a game where I've went, right, okay, cool. Up top, what I said, I would have preferred Ajeti starting up top, because Kamala's someone I would bring in as a super sub, and Griffiths was on the bench as well. I still don't understand why we were playing El Yunusi when we had 2 strikers still sitting on the bench. Lee Griffiths has experience in Old Firms, so I think if we started him, maybe it would have been a bit better. And I said in the podcast before, and Sham's not been impressing me, and he's just completely took that and made me not and more like it's just it was awful.
And Cham was a big letdown, but I do think a lot of the Celtic players weren't up to scratch in the game though, were they?
No, they weren't. And as I said, see, when I'm not gonna lie, see, when I seen Stephen Welsh on the team sheet, I was like, right, okay. But
what do you make about that actually as well? Lennon's obviously annoyed that the team get leaked, because I think one of the paper outlets called it lax out and Welsh were starting in the game, which was a wee bit of a surprise at the time, but it turned into fruition. And they're talking about potentially there being a mole in the camp. I know when Steven Gerrard came into Rangers, there was a lot of problems with that beforehand, and that was something he advocated straight away. So what's your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I think he needs to sort something out, definitely. Quickly. And I think quickly, because I think just even like, see, being on Twitter right now, like I've just tried to kind of avoid it. It's just so toxic. Like, obviously after a loss is bad, but losing to your rivals is like obviously worse. But I just don't. I've said all season, I'm not really impressed with how he's went about things. Like, they don't seem serious about this whole 10-in-a-row situation. Like, I'm not gonna lie, when I said Laxalt would start, but then I heard he hadn't played a game since July, I think it was, and I was like, right, Jesus Christ, okay. And then I started kind of going, I don't know if he should start. I seen Stephen Welsh in the team sheet, and I was like, right, okay, I don't really know how this is going to be going. See, for his second competitive game, see, for playing against your rivals, I think he done well. See, for a 20-year-old to come in and do that.
He didn't embarrass himself. I was a bit surprised Rangers never targeted him a wee bit more, but it wasn't that type of game for me. Rangers didn't really go after him in that type of sense. But
we had no
he didn't embarrass himself at all. I seen him play against Hamilton. I think it was his only other game, and I thought he was really good in that game. It was and you obviously spoke about Laxalt. More surprisingly, it was other players that have got a lot of experience, the fixture, that just were missing in the game. Do you know what I mean? And guys that cost a lot of money as well, no turning up when it mattered.
It just shocked me, like Shane Duffy sitting saying, "Oh, Celtic, I'm so happy to be here." You'd stop drinking that. Just put it down. Right?
Is he a Brighton? Do you remember my call last week? Is he a Brighton or a Celtic player?
No, I do. And do you know what? Do you know what annoys me the most about anything, about any player in the world, right?
The Bucky Thistle player.
It's when they sit and say, they have a bad game, right?
Yeah.
They have I don't know if this happens to like yous or whatever, but see whenever one of your players has a bad game, then they'll go on Twitter and go, "Oh, I'm so sorry." No, just shut up and actually perform. Like, why are you sitting putting a big post on Twitter like, "I'm so sorry"? No, we don't need an apology. We just need you to actually play for the badge and actually play well. Like, I genuinely see watching that game, no shots on target against our rivals at home. Sorry, what? I think my gran could have went on there and had a shot on target. Like, seriously, I was like, this is shocking, man. That it was embarrassing. Like, it was genuinely
That's a word I've seen a lot, embarrassing. I've seen that word branded a lot by Celtic fans. But let's get into the game now a wee bit. Jack, can you talk us through maybe the first 15 minutes and how you've seen the game going at that point, mate?
I'll be honest, I wasn't too happy with how much we were sitting off, because I've been to a few old firms, even at Ibrox, where we've sat off and the punished.
Is that after the goal or before?
No, before. So before the goal, I could see us sitting off a wee bit, and I was a wee bit like, right, like, why are we not hitting them? I remember when the back line had the ball. I think it was Alpy Welsh had the ball, and Morelos wasn't going towards them. Kent obviously holding the position in the long run, it looked alright. But see, soon as the goal went in, we looked so comfortable. Again, Celtic didn't come for us after that. They played the same way they were playing before they were 1-0 down. So the first 15 minutes was halved into it was nerves, and then instantly like, right, okay, I can see what we're doing and I can see what our game plan is.
I thought in the first 15 minutes it was a wee bit end to end. Rangers upped the intensity, and so the Celtic, they were going after Rangers at one point, but they only really had that one opportunity, which Hollander came in and made an unbelievable block. And I'm just so glad this guy's getting the credit that he deserves. I think he's a brilliant defender. Obviously, Kamara Goldson, who we'll touch on, will get all the headlines in this game. But what a partner Hollander is for him. And that block on El Yunusi set the tone. Rangers got the part. A few minutes later, they get the free kick. And great delivery from Tavernier. There's been a lot made of the boy Frimpong on the other side. Tav showed in this game why he is the best right back in the country. Puts the ball onto Kamara Goldson's nut, who puts it in the net. But I kind of just want to get your thoughts on that, Kirsten. Then obviously it was a great delivery. He makes connection with it. What was your thoughts on the goalkeeper? And also, what was your thoughts on the actual marking from the Celtic defence at that point?
Well, me and Jack were talking before. We both thought it was offside. Like, see before, I was like, right, it's offside. And then, see, obviously, when it did flip to the 1-0 and then it did show you the replay, I was like, nah, like, it's onside. And to be fair, it was a good goal. I'm not going to sit and say it wasn't, do you know what I mean? It was. Nah, I don't even know what we were doing. I think we were, like, you seen Christopher Ayer kind of sorting the back line out, and I was like, right, okay. Nobody picked him up. Nobody picked him up at all.
Christopher Ayer calls for offside in mid-flight. Christopher Ayer's running a line with the ball in mid-flight and then stops and calls for offside.
That annoys me about Christopher Ayer, because he does that a good few times for whatever game he's playing. There's been a few that he's done that, and I'm like, he's not offside. I remember in the Copenhagen game he tried to do it as well. But it was Simunovic was playing him on or something. But I was so annoyed, and see Barkas as well. I wasn't impressed at all the whole game. No. I wasn't impressed with any of them.
He's a player that's Barkas. He's not needed really to make a lot of saves, but I think what kind of defines a Celtic or a Rangers goalkeeper is in games like this where you're there to make those type of saves. You might only need to make a few, but this is a game that you need to step up. Do you know what I mean? This is where you need to show. We've seen Alan McGregor in the opposite side do it time and time again last season when Rangers went to Celtic, he makes a penalty save. Do you know what I mean? He's tried and trusted. Barkas, for me, should have potentially done better with that one. But big credit to Kamara Goldson, hits the target. Aye, Foster, even Craig Gordon, Kirsten, I think, would have made that save.
Oh no, definitely. Like, yeah.
You know,
like,
Bain definitely wouldn't have made that save. I'm not going to lie, but yeah. So I thought that was quite interesting. You're talking about Aya there. I've not really looked at that for that point of view. Tactically, obviously, Celtic set up at that free kick zonally, so they decided we'll just let the Rangers players get a run on us. Fair dues. They were probably that confident in Duffy being able to win the ball, but he was at the back post. He's the guy that steps in. You say Christopher Ayer is shouting for offside. Is that potentially because he was supposed to be holding the line?
I think sometimes he does, kind of, because he'll sit and I like Ayer, right? But there is sometimes where I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, don't. He'll line them up, everything, right? He'll line it up, act in charge, and good. See if you're going to take charge, make sure everybody's in the right position, make sure you're in the right position. And then as soon as he realised, oh, wait a wee minute here, I'm in the wrong position, offside. I'm like, nah.
I don't know if you've seen Kamara Goldson's post-match interview. He said, obviously, he knows Duffy's threat in the air. He says, I went out to Tar and I'm running front post. Don't let that get anywhere near him. And it's the call that gets in the goal. So it's one of the ones where Duffy, you can rely on Duffy's heading ability all you want, but see when you're flanking at the back post and you've got somebody as big as Kamara Goldson at the front post.
See the difference is, right? We talked about this last week as well. Yous have obviously sat down and pinpointed, right, what's their attacking threat, Frimpong down the right wing. Clearly we didn't do that. Clearly we weren't looking at, free kicks. We weren't looking at who's going to be an attacking threat in the air, who's going to be an attacking threat, running through the middle, who's going to be going down the... Do you know what I mean? We didn't take into consideration that, and I was like, we do. And I think that's where our downfall was. We didn't realise, right, they could come from left, right, how are they going to attack us through the middle? Who's going to be the person that's going to go through set pieces? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what they were doing, but...
Yeah. So, after Rangers obviously get the goal, I thought for the next 5 minutes or so, Jack, that we kept the intensity. Then when we decided to just turn the intensity down, we almost gave Celtic the ball, let them play about. And it was a start that was through up towards the end of the game, and it was the most touches in the game. You had Duffy, Brown being the most deep-lying centre mid, and you also had Welsh and Ayer. So Rangers obviously used that game plan. Stephen Gerrard spoke about it a lot. The game plan, we're going to stick to the game plan. We're going to blah, blah. I think that it was really to let their centre-halves have the ball in a position that wasn't going to hurt Rangers. And then for the next 30 minutes or so, they kind of did that. But they did get one opportunity through El Yunusi. That was a big opportunity. Jack, what was your thoughts, mate, when it fell at his feet?
Mate, I remember, but I think I was just talking about the family, and then I turned around and I see the ball come down to Goldson, and I'm not really sure if Goldson really knows where the ball is, and it hits off him, blah, 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 and it falls to him. See, as soon as that falls to his feet, I think it's either McGregor's going to need to make a wonder save, or this is one each. And then see when that ball gets, like, it's one of the ones you look at. I see no rated like £15 million off Leicester.
I think Southampton bought him for 17 million. Could be wrong. Definitely 15 to 17. It was in that range. Yep.
If you're willing to put that price tag on somebody, you need to be doing something better with that finish. Like there's no like I see if Morelos done that out in the paper. It's one of the ones you look at it and you need to be a bit more. Obviously, blue tinted glasses you can say what you want, but that was an awful finish. Awful finish. That's a massive moment in that game as well. If he scores that, they're right back in the game. The heads might be different in places in the park. Like obviously Goldson made that mistake right after scoring. His biggest high might take him to his biggest low. So the game changes massively if that goes in.
It's a massive opportunity in it, Kirsten. It's huge, and it's one that was it was basically an unforced error for the big man. I think he's potentially looking for a foul, and then he gets a bit. He just doesn't really know where the ball is. But El Yunusi, he's not a striker, but surely he's got to score that. Yeah. He's just got to pass it into the net. Do you know what I mean? It's an easy goal for me every day.
I'll sit and try and defend my players all day long. Do you know what I mean? But he's not a striker, but I could finish that. Do you know what I mean? It's get it on target at least. Do you know what I mean? See if you get it on target with power. As Jack says, you're either right back in the game with a goal or saved maybe out for a corner. You don't know, but at least get it on target. Like we've seen El Yunusi score a good few good goals last season for us, and semi-finals and just general games. Just get it on target, and then that kind of flips as well. Like then I'm thinking, why have we not got a striker on? Why are we playing a winger or a left mid up front against your rivals at home? Like it does kind of make you think. But yeah, no, definitely should be on target. I don't even know where that was going, to be honest with you, but I was just like, see, as soon as that went over, I just remember turning around and going, I'm getting another drink, and I just, boom, I was away, another vodka.
The last memory for the game was that one. But a lot was made. I said to some people that I spoke to off camera about the game, it'll be such an interesting dynamic if Celtic can improve in the midfield, because I think the last 4 out of 5 Old Firm games Rangers have dominated in that area. So if it was more of a 50-50, and also if Rangers finishing can improve. We've seen Rangers finishing improved, but Celtic's midfield still were not able to impose themselves in this game. I think there's only so many times that you can say Celtic's midfield's better, they're technically this, they're technically that. Callum McGregor, Scott Brown, Olivier Chamis, this is that. But now that's 4 out of 5 last Old Firm games where Rangers midfield in different combinations of the Rangers midfield have overran them and outdone them in that midfield. The standout guy for me, Jack, in the first half and obviously in the second half, was Glenn Kamara. He's a guy that's came under immense criticism, you could say. He went away and he had a great international break, beat Republic Island and Big Duffy. So I think that's 3-0 to Glenn Kamara now because they beat him before. But he was brilliant in the game, Jack, wasn't he? In the midfield, just strolled it. He's brilliant.
Mate, he cost what Duffy's wage probably is, and he's bossed that midfield time and time again. The full game. See when the ball gets played into his feet or the ball gets played through him or at any sort of position, there's no worry in my mind that he's going to take that ball, get it to another player, or make something special for it. I mean, it was fluid in that midfield.
You love to see it. How can you improve then in the midfield, Kirsten? Is it tactically? Do you need to get an extra man in there, or do you need to drop certain players and bring in a wee bit more flair? Like, what is the problem now? What's going on?
See, to be honest, right, I genuinely think, like, looking at it, we do have the right players, but sometimes I don't know what goes on behind. Like, I can't sit and comment what goes on at training or what goes on, what Neil Lennon's saying. But
if you've not got a strong source, like many people,
just for a start, play a striker, play your players in the right position for a start, right?
Ooh.
And I think the issue with us as well is I will sit and go, but we've got 9 in a row. We play like it then. Like, play like that you've got it. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I think they go, it'll be easy, and I'm like, well, it's not going to be easy. Like, what the St Johnstone game just before the international break, we got 2 goals, yeah, but like in 90 minutes, like right at the end. And you have improved, as I've said. Like, it's not as easy as it could have been a couple of years ago. Do you know what I mean? I think I said, see at half time, I think I genuinely tweeted something like, go to a 4-2-3-1, because I feel maybe we should be going back to a 4-2-3-1. I maybe think a 3 at the back isn't always going to work for us. And I think maybe for the derby, looking at it, I was like, nah, I think we need 4 at the back. But
nice. I'm loving your wee rants today. Should we break it up a wee bit and get into the quiz that you've prepared for us then, Kirsten?
Last minute.
Second half. It was a last minute one, but we roll.
Right, okay.
We move.
This is goal scorers. Just top goal scorers. So the top SPFL goal scorers, just in general, right? There's 13 here. So it's basically like the last one. Just pick a number and then just say
number 1.
Right, but no.
No?
No.
Let's do it then. If we get a right answer, we still get the point. We do that.
Yeah, you still get the answer.
Yeah, we don't need to say the actual position because that will be hard. So Boydie's got is Boydie in there?
Boydie isn't in here. This is the top 13, so he's not in here. Top SPFL.
Is this in history?
Like yeah, like
from when the SPFL started, like 5-6 years ago.
2013.
I'm pretty sure. I'm off for 2013. Right, okay. Jesus. Big Boydie's number 1. I was like that. My next answer was Henrik Larsson, Jack.
Well, it's definitely not that one.
Right, go. I'll give you another shot then, Jack. For 2013,
Lee Griffiths.
Yeah, right, okay, yeah. He's second with 70.
I'll go. Do you know? I'll go Michael Higdon. Is he in there?
No.
No? He had a frightening man. I just went
Mate,
out the...
Dev, can I just say, I'm pretty sure for 2013 till now, I think we had other things planned. We were in Montrose.
That's true. I didn't have a clue what was going on in the top leagues until we were back, to be honest. But
Not just fucking Chief
Can I just say, one of them here used to be a player for you guys.
Miller?
No.
Right, I'll go for Moussa Dembele.
No.
What? Jesus Christ! This is going to be hard.
This shows how much we were paying attention to the top league of that. Jones?
No.
No.
Think. I'll give you a clue.
Morelos.
Your player came from Hibs, and he came to play for you for a bit.
Right, it's your shot, Jack.
Who did we sign for Hibs?
This is so hard.
I'll give you both another shot each. There's another one. It's top goal scorers, but it's for the Champions League. So I'll try that after this to see.
Fucking hell.
Guys, get involved in the comments because me and Jack have absolutely ran out of ideas here.
I was up at Elgin away when this thing was
Is
getting done.
Edward doing it?
Nah.
What is going on?
Do you want me to give you one?
Just give the list, man, because there's no chance we'll get this.
McGregor?
No. So the number one with 93 goals is Rory McAllister. Number 2 is Lee Griffiths with 73.
Oh my God, I've been just in the top leagues.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Stephen Dobie.
No, not in the top 13.
Right, on you go, just give us your list. I'm running out of ideas.
3's Liam Buchanan. 4's Adam Rooney.
Oh, that's a good one.
5, Michael Moffat. 6, Greg Spence. Jason Cummins.
We Cumdog.
Oh,
I was trying to
I'm so confused the fact that Cumdog's in a list over Moussa Dembele, Alfredo Morelos and Edward. That's mental.
I know.
But anyway,
to be fair, I'm pretty sure we didn't sign him for Hibs, just to clarify.
No, I know.
Just putting out there.
Then Craig Gunn, Shane Sutherland, Alan Truton, Chris Doolan, Derek Lyle and Ian Russell.
Derek Lyle, do you remember him, Jack, for the championship days? He used to always score against us, mate.
Mate, see, want to see the names?
He's one that just haunted me. Every time we came up against Queen of the South, Derek Lyle would score. What a boy.
This one will hopefully be a wee bit easier for you, right? So,
Jesus.
Players with most goals in the UEFA Champions League from 1955 to 2020. I'm looking at all these names and I know them, so...
Right, Ronaldo.
Hey, I'll go first. I'm going first in this one, Jack. Jesus. I'll go Ronaldo and you can take Messi. Right, so that's 1 point each, I take it.
Aye, that's 1 point each, the top 2, there you go.
Fucking... Raul.
No?
Wow, I've screwed it up already, mate.
I'll go Rob.
I'm joking, he was third.
He's went Robin.
Raul was third, right, so you've got 2 points.
Oh, so I do? Right, boom. He went Robin, by the way.
He went Robin?
Is he in it? No.
Nah.
Hey, I'm going Lewandowski.
Yeah, Lewandowski is 5th.
3-1 to me.
Zidane.
Zidane's not in it.
Zidane.
I'm going to go R9, Ronaldo.
No.
No, jeez.
Ronaldinho.
Nope.
Suarez.
What's going on?
Suarez isn't in it either.
Oh my God.
Right, I'm going to give you a hint, right?
Van Nistelrooy.
Yeah, you've got a point there, yeah.
That's good. What's the hint?
Right, so for one of these was a Chelsea legend.
Oh my God. Drogba.
Yeah.
Nice.
Rooney.
No.
One dog is the in it. Yeah, let's go one more each, mate. Still plays. I'll go Zlatan.
Yeah.
Oh yes, you beauty.
There's another player that still plays.
Right, last one, Jack.
Aguero. No, it's piss. Jack, shut up.
To be fair, I think Aguero's top goal scorer in Europe for Man City. But anyways.
I think he is, yeah.
What's the final list then, Kirsten? We'll get back out to this game.
So you've got Ronaldo, Messi, Raul, Benzema, Lewandowski, Van Nistelrooy, Thierry Henry. No one said Thierry. Zlatan, Shevchenko, Inzaghi, Drogba, Thomas Müller, and Del Piero.
Inzaghi.
I'm forgetting how dominant the Italian force was in Europe at one point.
I know, definitely. Like, let's get into the second half of this game now. So for me, the intensity kind of dropped as we touched on, but in the second half, Rangers then picked it back up. I've seen a lot of people say they're more annoyed at the fact that it looked like Rangers almost had Celtic on a leash, and it was as if when Rangers wanted to turn on the intensity, they could score, they could sit back, they could let them play in front of them, and so on and so forth. So at the start of the second half, it looked like Rangers started to do that, Jack, didn't they? And they managed to get their second goal. It was that man again, Kamara Goldson. He gets a goal. And for me, it was actually a really nice piece of play. A couple of 1-2s. That man, Glenn Kamara, thrown and champ to the ground easily. Plays a 1-2. Arfield gets it. 1-2 with Morelos. Fires it in. And it's actually a really nice finish, isn't it, Jack?
So obviously, Golson's going to get all the credit every day of the week. But see the build-up to that play. It was unbelievable. See the way Kamara and Arfield were playing each other. See honest, Morelos' wee touch as well. They play it back into Arfield as a cracking ball. And Golson's first hit is a cracking. It would have been a cracking finish if Duffy doesn't get away with that. And then it's a controlled pass just into the bottom corner once the ball is sitting in front of him. So cracking goal. I think it doesn't look as good as it probably is.
No, definitely. See, when you see the angle from behind the goal, you see just how composed it was for Big Goldson, and he gets his second goal and gets him man of the match, didn't he? You can't be a centre-half and score 2 goals away in the rivalry where you've been counted out, do you know what I mean? And the other guy on the opposite side is supposed to be the dominant centre-half, and you go and show why you are the dominant centre-half. So, for me, he's got to take the man of the match. But Kirsten, then, you're expecting Celtic to come out, have a response. They didn't really. It gets to about 60 minutes, they make our subs. They still didn't really have a response. So what was your thoughts on that?
Initially, as I said, at half time, I was like, right, hopefully we're going to go a wee bit back. We're going to go maybe a 4-2-3-1. Nothing happened. Still nothing happened. I was like, what's going on? Why is it just still the same team? I was like, right, okay. We didn't make a change until the second goal. Why? Like, why would, if things aren't going right already and we have not had one shot on target, we never had a shot on target the whole game, we missed that shot that we said earlier with El Yunusi. I'm like, sorry, but if your manager's going in there and thinking, no, everything's fine, you'll be fine in the second half, that's not right to me. Like, if that was me, I'd have been giving them a bollocking, changing the formation and making subs. El Yunusi would have been off, and Cham would have been off. Like, I'd have put people on that I knew wanted it more. And I'm like, see, if you're not going to be arsed, get off the pitch. Like, it just really annoyed me that nothing changed until the second goal went in. It was
almost too late. It was as if...
And I was like, well, the game's basically done now. And usually I would say that...
I have for a Celtic fan. See, the only thing that you're saying there, like, in terms of people who want it, I have made it in my mind Scott Brown probably wanted that more than any Celtic player in that park, but Scott Brown was silent that whole game.
He didn't show it. He didn't show it to me. He did not show it at all. Nobody showed it apart from Stephen Welsh. In my opinion, that's just what I'm saying.
It's weird,
it was awful.
I've seen a lot of Celtic fans say different people. You've said Stephen Welsh. Some I've seen say Callum McGregor. Some I've seen say Scott Brown. Some I've seen say Laxalt. It was one of the ones. It was hard to pick a player out of that starting 11 for Celtic, and even from the guys that came on that really looked like they wanted it. And for me, I think there's also been a lot made of Celtic. They did that. They haven't. I need to give credit where credit's due again. Back to that Rangers midfield and the tactical game plan that they enforced in the game. We made a lot out of this boy Frimpong. He's going to be the biggest attacking threat. You could look at it and say, he was getting on the ball, he wasn't carrying his forward, he wasn't confident. But also, Rangers showed that they could handle him. They had a game plan, and every time he got the ball, they didn't even really need to double up on him. They just shifted, and they didn't have the confidence to go forward. How disheartening was that for you, Kirsten? Because he looked like your own, getting into the game, your most creative outlet, and he just wasn't at it. He was never couldn't get into the game because of Rangers, and he also never had the confidence just to lose the ball, but try and go for it. Do you know what I mean?
It was disheartening because, like, I've seen games where Frimpong's just completely glided through players. I've seen his confidence at the top of the peak. Like, I've seen him doing things that he probably didn't even think he would be doing at this stage in his career. And it's really is disheartening. Obviously, he's in a team that's just, won 9 league titles in a row. Play like it. Like, nobody's helping him. And as you said, you just needed to kind of shift him to the side. And he was like, well, I don't really know what to do. And I don't want my players to be kind of frightened to go back. Go push forward. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand the whole mentality of the team, because it was always just kind of like whenever somebody got the ball, it was like, just go backwards then. And it's kind of always going to that thing again where it's like a lot of players not playing in position. So like El Yunusi not being up front, El Yunusi being up front. I think a lot of our players, personally, because if it was me on the pitch, I'd have been like, I'm not passing him, man. He's not going to be as good as what Edouard would be up front, or Ayeti would be. And
there definitely wasn't that cohesion with the Celtic starting 11. It didn't look balanced. It didn't look like
there's no ambition.
They didn't look like they knew how to play together. They never looked like they'd run phases of play. They never, do you know what I mean? Kamara didn't.
Was like watching Sunday League. It was weird.
That's mental. But it didn't look like Kamara knew where Frimpong was going to be. Didn't know. Even a guy like Cal McGregor was passing it apart. I don't know. It just looked very unorganised, man. And I think that's where Rangers just. Rangers weren't even at their best, Jack, were they? Rangers definitely had a couple levels to go through in that game that probably would have came out if Celtic were better on the day. But Rangers can improve on that as well, can't they, Jack?
See, Bonus, that's the one thing I said to my brother after that game. I was like, look, see, as much as we can look at this season and be like, I don't think this has been the most comfortable season in terms of picking up results I've seen for Rangers in a long time, and we've still not come out a second, third year. I think I seen a stat, and it was like we've had 14 shots on target against us all season, and 5 of them were Hibs. The defensive line we have is so comfortable, and we play the game so comfortably now. Gone to Parkhead and sitting back and saying like, "Man, and see we'll see what happens," and we've beat them. It's meant how comfortable we've been, and when we come out of that second gear, when we get to our best, we're going to scud somebody.
Aye, somebody's needing one. What I will say before we finish and move on to predictions, because we are running out of time. We'd love to talk about all the other games, but we are on a time limit here, so we are going to go into predictions in a moment. But finally, for myself, it is early days. It's the first battle won, in the Old Firms, but it's now important for Rangers to kick on, because I've no doubt that Celtic will improve on this. They'll start definitely picking up results. They've showed so far they can beat other teams in the league. But it's very, very, very positive from a Rangers point of view. They've went to Parkhead and they've comfortably, came out as the victors. So yeah, let's get into some predictions, mate. What was the scores from last week first?
Well, I'll just run through all these and give you the score at the end, just so we're not running out of any time. Obviously, first game was St Mirren v Motherwell, which got postponed. Past that one. Hamilton v St Johnstone. I said 1-0 St Johnstone. You both said 1-0 Hamilton. It finished 5-3 at St Johnstone. Absolutely. As a cracking game. The next game was Dundee United v Aberdeen. I said 2-1 to Aberdeen. You both said 2-0 Aberdeen. It finished 9 each. Next game was Livingston v Kilmarnock. I said 2-1 to Kilmarnock. You said 2-1 to Livingston, Div. And then Kirsten said 2-1 to Kilmarnock as well. It finished 3-1 Kilmarnock. Ross County Hibs. I said 2-0 Hibs. Kirsten said 3-0 Hibs. Div said 1 each. It finished 9 each. And then the big one, Celtic v Rangers. I said 2-1. Div said 4-2. And Kirsten said 2-1 Celtic. And it finished 2-0 Rangers, obviously. So the scores on the doors. I got 9 points this week. Div got 6. And Kirsten got 3. So obviously, Kirsten, we had a bit of time before you, so we're a bit ahead. You're on 6.
I say we'll give Kirsten double points in for this week as well, bump her up to 6, because she did come in a wee bit later.
So me and you're on 65 points apiece, and with the double point.
Oh! Well done, Jack. By the way, I've got to give you credit where credit's due, mate. You've pulled this back.
Not too bad, Well, let's get right into next weekend.
Let's do it, mate.
First game, Kelly v Hibs. I've went 1 each.
Do you know, I'm going to go for Kilmarnock on this one. I backed against them last week. I also went for the draw with Hibs, and I was right on that. So I'm going to go with Kamara on this, and I'll go with a 2-1 victory for the Kelly Pies.
Perfect.
I'm going to flip that. I'm going to go 2-1 to Hibs.
I like that. All three is different like that. Cool.
Playing for the points, tactical.
Next game is Motherwell v Ross County. Motherwell at home. I'm going to go a 2-1 victory to them.
There you go, Kirsten. I'll let you go first this time.
I'm going to go 1-0 to Motherwell. I'm just going to, that's what's happening. I don't know. I think last time they got beat was it not 1-0 up for Ross County last time? So that's I think being at home, I think it will just be reverse. So I think 1-0, just edge it slightly.
I'll go 2-0 to Motherwell as well on this one. You're right. It was 1-0 up there. Motherwell were still trying to find their feet in the season. Ross County have went on a wee bit of a downward spiral in recent, but obviously a good result versus Hibs there. But I just think away, Motherwell pick up that 2-0.
Cool. Next game is St Mirren v Hamilton. I've went 2-1 Hamilton. No other reason than it's just a mad random guess.
See, this is mental because St Mirren have they been playing well. Hamilton have just conceded 5. So this is just it's leading into an absolute cracker, and that's why I'll go 0-0 because it'll be like the most Scottish football thing ever. So I'll go 0-0.
I'll go 1-1. I think there'll be goals, but I don't think there'll be a overall winner. I think it'll just be like kind of a scrappy game, to be honest with you. So I'll go 1-1.
Next game is St Johnstone v Dundee United. St Johnstone at home. I'll let one of you go up first.
I don't want to say 0-0 again, do you know? But I think obviously St Johnstone have just went and scored 5 goals, but Dundee United haven't conceded a lot, not created a lot. You'd think for obviously being an exciting game, but I'm just going to go 1-0 Dundee United. Back to winning ways. Shankland probably with a flying handball into the back of the net.
I'll go 1-1. Again, I think it will be a 1-1. I think Dundee will score first, but I think St Johnstone will just edge it right at the end and get an equaliser.
I went 2-0 Dundee United. No,
that'd be a result for them. Be a really good result.
A big massive reason. Next game is a massive one for Celtic, and it's Aberdeen away. I've went 1-0 to Celtic.
I'm going to go for 1-0 to Aberdeen.
Oh.
Maybe a wee bit against the norm, but I just think, just judging on the game against the Rangers there, they didn't create a lot. If they're still missing certain players, Aberdeen could give them a tough game after AC Milan. So I'll just go for it, mate. 1-0 Aberdeen.
I think it's going to be a really difficult game. Having to come back from losing the derby, playing AC Milan this week, but I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Celtic. If he makes the right team selection, which I can hope he will, and maybe reverts back to a 4-2-3-1 and plays a striker up front, then maybe I think we'll win. I think we need to bounce back, and I think this is a game to do it.
The Zoom call is less than a minute, so we'll battle through this one. Rangers Livingston. Rangers at home. I'll say 2-0 Rangers.
I'm going to go 3-0, Jack. I think it'll be a comfortable victory for us. Yourself, Kirsten?
I'll go 3-1 to Rangers.
Perfect. Smashing.
So you're expecting Livy to get one more shot on target than Celtic did in the game?
And actually convert it into a goal, yes.
Probably with Jason Holt. He likes scoring goals at Ibrox.
But then we've got time.
Maybe we'll do another wee show. Huh? We'll maybe do another wee show down the line. If you guys can smash the like button, get involved in the comments, show that you are interested still in the podcast, that would be great. But yeah, we are just about to run out of time. I think we've smashed it again with the times. And
it's about to go.
See you again in the next one.
See you later.
Bye.